Hey Money Loves, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing my makeup routine using all drugstore makeup products. So if you want to see that, stick around. And these are all the products I'll be using to do a full face of drugstore makeup, and I'll also be providing prices of everything that I'm using in this video. I always start off with my brows, and I'm using my e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil in the shade Deep Brown, and I'm taking the spoolie side and just brushing my eyebrows up and over. My brows were not done when I started filming this, but I promise as soon as I shape them in this video, I pluck what I didn't shape. Your eyebrows have to be done in order to get a flawless brow look. And the technique that I use to shape my eyebrows is just to follow the natural way my eyebrows are, and that's up and over. And I just take that pencil and just do light strokes until I get the desired shade and shape. And then lastly, I just take the spoolie side again and just brush out my eyebrows to get that faded look. To clean up my brows, I'm using the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Full Wear Concealer in the color Amber, and the brush that I'm using is the angled brow brush. And to conceal my brows, I'm just taking the smallest amount of concealer and tracing the outside of my brows. And as y'all can see, my brows are a little bit more shaped now. I went in and plucked those extra hairs that were outside of my shaded brow. Then I just take the same concealer and brush and put some concealer in the middle of my eyebrows as well as on top of my eyelids. I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation around my eyes, and I like to cover that up with a little bit of concealer. If you would like, you can take what's left from the concealer from your brows and just drag it down to your eyelids. Now, I forgot to do this from the very beginning, but I'm taking my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer and putting that all over my face using my flat foundation brush. And this is just going to help spread all of the makeup around my face. And I let that sit for 30 seconds so it can get sticky and allow the makeup to stick and hold onto my face. Now, after I've let that primer set, I'm going in with my concealer again and placing that on top of my lip, and then I'm going to put some on my chin as well as under my eyes. And the brush that I'm using is a flat concealer brush. Now I'm going in with my L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer in the color Cashew to brighten up my under eye a little bit, and I'm going to keep that in the corner of my under eye, and that's just to brighten it. And then I just blend the two colors together right in the middle of my under eye. Now this next step is unnecessary, but I want to try something new, and I just added a little bit of concealer right under my cheekbones. Now to add some color and shade back to my face, I'm using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Espresso and putting that in the hollows of my face. That's going to be my forehead, my cheekbones, my chin, as well as my nose, and I'm going to take that up into my brow. To blend all that out, I'm using my Wet n Wild Rose Water and a Real Techniques blending brush and just blending out my contour. And I'm going to go from top to bottom, and I'm really just going to focus on buffing out that contour because it is a little bit harsh for my skin tone, but I want it all to just melt together and make sure I stay tan. So that's what the contour is really for. And to blend out my concealer, I'm using the same type of brush, but this is by e.l.f. and I'm blending that out into the contour. And to blend out with more precision, I'm using a concealer brush. This is a fluffy concealer brush, and I'm just blending out that concealer all around my face. And I'm also going to be using this brush to blend out my nose contour. Now, y'all don't have to use the same brushes that I'm using. You can get a brush set for $10 to $15. It's more about technique than the brushes. And when it comes to blending in my makeup, I make sure to not drag my brushes around my face because that will take away the makeup and it will also make it look streaky. So the technique that I use is just pat the makeup in to where I want it to blend out to. And you can do like a little swipe. It's like a simultaneous motion to where you're pat, swipe, pat, swipe. Once you practice, you guys, you'll get the hang of that technique. It's kind of hard to explain. Now, as I'm making my way down my face, I realized that my top lip is still giving bush. So I'm going to be taking some more concealer in the shade Amber and putting that on my lip again and then just blending that out. And having facial hair is totally normal, and especially for those of us who have PCOS, you know, don't worry about it, ladies. Just get you some makeup and cover that right on up. As I'm blending out the rest of my makeup, I went in with a little bit of foundation. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation in 505. And I just put a little bit under that concealer that I had on my cheekbones, and I just blend all of those together. And this is what I would usually do instead of adding concealer. So I'm doing that now just to make sure everything blends seamlessly. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, when it comes to blending that chin contour, I be dragging that brush from highways and byways and making sure I blend all of that out. Because imagine lifting your head up and seeing dark lines on your chin. That is embarrassing. So make sure y'all blend that out and blend down your neck. So you don't want to look like we have a mask. So I blend out down my neck, around my ears, and around my forehead. And if you all have on lace like I do, blend into your lace. And to brighten up my under eye just a little bit more, I'm taking that L'Oreal Paris concealer in the shade Cashew again and adding a little bit more of that concealer under my eyes. Most days I don't have to add this much concealer, but today my eyes needed a little bit more help, so I had to add a little bit more. And to make sure I don't take away that product, I'm just blending the outside of that concealer. I'm not taking my brushes and patting on top of it. And after I'm done with that concealer, I just take my brushes and start blending out all of my makeup together so it's seamless, and add that rose water again just to add some hydration. To set my makeup, I'm going in with my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade 20 Light Medium, and setting everywhere that I put concealer using my Real Techniques Beauty Blender. And I'm just pressing that into my skin until it blends out. And make sure you guys get into those creases, especially if you're looking for a flawless finish with your makeup. In this video, I'm skipping around a little bit with my makeup, but I went ahead and started my eyeshadow, and I'm using my Black Radiance contour palette in medium to dark, and I'm just adding a little bit of dimension to my eyes, starting with a brown shade to add a little bit of contour to my eye with the shade Sculpt, and then I'm going in with the contour shade and adding a little bit of shadow. And I'm making sure I'm keeping that in almost like an angled, triangled shape, just to give my eyes more an extension or cat eye look. And when I'm done adding in that contour shade, I'm making sure to go back in with that first shade to blend everything out. I don't do too much with my eyes. I like to keep it very simple. For my eyeliner, I'm just taking this black eyeliner pencil and shaping out my eyes. And when I put on eyeliner, I make sure to start from the outside of my eye at an angle and stop in the middle of my eye. This will help with that cat eye look that I'm going for. And this is the trick that I use to define my brow hairs a little bit more, just by adding mascara. Now this is the mascara that I use for my eyelashes. This is not Drugstore, but I would recommend Maybelline Great Lash Mascara. To set my contour, I'm using two different products. I'm starting with the Black Radiance Contour Palette again, and I'm using the shade Sculpt to go around all the places that I put my contour. And then I'm going to go in with the contour shade and just focus on my cheekbones. And that's just going to add some depth and dimension to my cheekbones so I can get that snatched face. Now the star of the show has arrived, y'all. I'm going in with my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Press Powder to set all of my contour spaces as well as my concealer. But this is the second product I use for my contour. Now this is going to finish off your makeup. I highly recommend this press powder for your makeup. It's going to make your skin look like porcelain and like you have no pores. And especially great for those of you who take flash photography or photos. It won't give you that flashback, so I highly recommend this product. And the shade I use for my contour is 360 Mocha, and for my light areas I use 235 in the color Pure Beige. Now for my lips, I'm taking a brown lip liner from NYX and I'm just tracing the outline of my lips to give it a fuller effect. Then I'm going to be taking a lip color in a light pink shade and putting that in the center of my lips and blending those two colors together. And I have this pinkish brown lip gloss that I also outline my lips with just to give it a little bit more shine but keep the color. And then lastly, I use a rose hip lip gloss that I got from the hair store, my favorite lip gloss from Broadway, and put that on top. For my blush, I'm using CoverGirl Cheekers in the color Natural Twinkle, and I have a highlighter from Wet n Wild in the shade Golden Flower Crown. I added blush to the top of my cheekbones, and I'm also adding my highlighter to the high point of my face and the areas of my face that I want to stand out a little bit more. And for the last step, I take my NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray and just spray that all over my face so none of my makeup moves throughout the day. And that's all I do for my makeup routine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know any tips or tricks you may have for your makeup. I love you guys, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!